Yesterday I met a man with a interesting instrument and we talked about YouTube, and I sat there to make sure he had a editor on his phone and gave him a few pointers about how to make his first video. He's just made it, so go have a look at it and maybe subscribe.
This is a pan. I'm a panner. I'm gonna play it for you.
Well, I woke up this morning in the middle of the desert with a few buses. I'm driving to the RTR. Today's the first day it starts, so I'm going to head up in that direction. It was a nice drive from Skoolie Palooza out to Ehrenberg as the sun was rising. To find an ATM so I can have $5 when I get to the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. Well, I'm stuck in the mud, or stuck in the sand. This side doesn't look too bad, but I followed somebody on my way to the RTR. I followed somebody that I thought, hey, maybe he knows a shortcut. Anyway, I came over a hill and driving in sand like this. So I realized it wasn't smart for me to keep going, so I turned around. Now I found out it was even less smart to turn around. I've got one tire buried in sand. I'm quite familiar with how I would get that out of the snow, but I don't have shovels and I've got to do a lot of digging. So I'm going to be backing it up to get it out of that soft sand and digging from under the door, continue digging under the door, because that's, you know, basically grounded. And I can kind of shovel it with my hand, but I have no real other tools to do it. And I've got to get the back off the sand so that it can come out of the ground. And there has been the guy that I followed in here turned around and came back, and he says he'll come back to me with a tow strap, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure he will be. He seems like the kind of guy who will come back. Anyway, we both had a plan. He took his 4x4 up onto the actual regular desert, and up on the regular desert here, it's pretty solid stuff. This is what it looked like when he drove over it in his 4x4 with a camper. If I drove over it, it would look more or less the same thing, and then I would just have to drive up the desert hill and I'd be out of here. But I need somebody to help me pull it backwards, get it back up on some solid ground. Well, I made a lot of progress. I had the truck buried in this sand here, And now it's over there. If you've ever driven back and forth on snow so that you constantly give yourself a track, that's what I did. I dug out where I was sort of bottomed out, dug it out, drove my truck back and forth, kept driving it back and forth, got it back to here, and then somebody came along with a max track. So as you can see, I drove back and forth. You can see it's all packed down because I drove back and forth and packed it down, gave myself a little bit of a roadway to get out. But my intention is to drive back up onto the harder packed desert floor. Now the problem was, or at least I'm going through this because everybody insisted I use a max track. When I used the max track dug the hole deeper and helped me. And basically we chewed up the sand, I don't know if you can see it, so that it's really soft. Well, I'm not gonna put another max track on here because if I do, the max track would just keep sliding under the wheel and digging up that sand and making it softer. So I'm likely to spend the night here because I'm completely exhausted. A woman came down this hill with the same idea, thinking she found another way to the RTR, and then we basically, she got stuck right here and we backed her out up onto the desert, did a turnaround, and then she basically drove out of here without too much trouble except for one little spot where these max tracks worked really well for her. Anyway, there's where I am. This is where I'm spending the night out here. And tomorrow I'll have more energy. I'll be able to eventually drive back up there. I think I can almost get out by myself, but I could use like somebody with a serious 4x4, somebody who knows how to use his 4x4 and isn't afraid to use it, can come down and pull me out of here, or just provide the assist I need to get up on the desert floor. Once I get on the desert floor up there, I can just drive straight up the hill without even bothering with much of this road. What I want to do is get past this area because it's not really it's not wide enough for my truck. So I'm happy with everybody's concern, but what I need is a truck, guys. I need something pretty heavy duty with a winch or with a tow cable. Otherwise, I'm going to be phoning a tow truck unless like I say, unless I can pack that stuff down that the max track has beat up. Anyway, have a great day, great night, and stay tuned. We'll be able to tell you how this turns out. If you like drama, this is so dramatic. If you like drama, give me a thumbs up. And actually, it's kind of comical. This is about as dramatic as my life's gonna get. I've been stuck here before and I gotten out, so I don't get too worried about it. No one's gonna die. And this truck is made for camping in, and this is as good a camping spot as I can find. So anyway, give it a thumbs up if you like what you saw, and subscribe if you like the drama of this kind of thing. I'm probably not the guy to talk to. Anyway, have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's a beautiful spot. Good night from Gus and the Bus. And don't forget to check out my friend, Peg Leg Panner.
I'm a panner. I'm gonna play it for you.